Hello, welcome to this week's Craft and Chat. Sorry, I was all a bit of a strange start today. How are we? How are we? Let me just double check where we're at. Let's just tidy that camera angle up a bit. I hope you are having a good day, whatever you are up to today. I have a really, really good reason for being late. We are in pre-order for the new products for autumn winter. So think autumn projects, Halloween type projects, and of course Christmas. And some of those products were a bit delayed getting into the warehouse. And they landed in the warehouse, to my knowledge anyway, about 20 minutes ago. So I had to get my order in, make sure that was on its way so I can get everything sorted out and ready for all my classes coming up. And also to let my team know, because a lot of my team have been waiting to get their hands on their new goodies. So if you are one of my team, or in fact, if you are another demonstrator in Europe, because I know I have demonstrator friends who come and hang out with us, just kind of set up a second screen or as soon as we've finished here, go and place your order, because pretty much everything is in. I think there are 4 items that aren't in at the moment that I'm aware of. Knowing my luck, they'll pop in tomorrow, but it was fine. I got everything sorted out. So demonstrator friends, go and place your order. So let's see who's here. Michelle and Ali and Scylla and Evelyn and Chris and Donna and Margaret and Anne. And my light and sound is good. Evelyn's here from Germany. Thank you. And Donna's here from Oz. Have you moved yet, Donna? Rob, hello. Let's see. And Anne's back from Suffolk. I hope you're doing well, Anne. Good. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. So did anybody see the Northern Lights last night if you were here in Europe? I should have stayed up. I think I should have stayed up, but yeah, I didn't. I'm desperate to see them, but it's kind of like I'm also desperate for sleep. So I'm not entirely sure. But there was lots of sightings, even as far south as Cornwall, which is further south than us. So do let us know. Donna's moved, hooray! Lorraine is here. Oh, okay, right. So let me tell you kind of what's going on and what's going to happen today. So I have actually got a few new products to share with you today. You know, I like to tease. So I've got some new products to show you. Bear in mind that they will not go live for customers until the 5th, maybe the 6th of September. Of course, if you're a demonstrator like me, you can order them early. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe I've got some spare spending money, it's always worth joining and getting your products super early. So you can join right now and get pre-order products. So you can actually do that. And we're actually allowed to send you the information if you're going to join. So that is very exciting. So if that's something you're interested in, now or in the future, do let me know. Just send me an email. Where's my email address? There it is. Send me an email and I am so happy to talk to you. The thing that I always get asked or always get told is it's too good a deal. Seriously, it's too good a deal. It can't be, there's got to be a catch. There isn't a catch. I think everybody should join because then everybody get a discount. And that makes me happy. It makes you happy because you can get more crafty goodies. So do send me an email if you wanna chat about joining my team. So let's see. Oh, Anne's doing good. She's been holidaying. That's awesome. Oh, Anne was saying there was a lovely photo of the lights on Facebook only 3 miles away from where she lives, but she was in bed. Yeah. It's just what it is, isn't it? It's just one of those things. Okay. So, pre-order, I want to talk to you about that. I've got some. I'm just trying to think which order to talk to you about things. Let's just have a bit of a chitter chatter first. So yesterday, and I haven't seen it, so don't spoil it because I recorded it. Yesterday, Australian MasterChef was back. Some of you may know I became obsessed with Australian MasterChef a little while ago, and I've been looking and waiting for it to come back because sadly one of the presenters passed away last year, and I wasn't sure whether it was coming back, but I knew they'd been filming it in Australia. So the first episode was on last night, and it's on, for those of you in the UK, it's on the channel W. I don't know, it's channel 20 something or other. Yeah, Chris, you see, Chris is another Australian MasterChef aficionado. Yeah, it's channel W. I think it's channel 22, 23, something like that. And it's on every night, Monday to Friday. And honestly, if you like a cooking show, it is the best one there is. It's amazing. The challenges that they do, you get so invested in the contestants, and it goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks. So what I tend to do is tape it all, record it all. I'm saying tape. We haven't had tapes in our machines, have we, for about a decade? But I record it all, and then I can whiz through the adverts. And then I sort of binge watch it on the weekend. Oh, the life according to Amanda. Well, often there's not a lot on the telly, and I really enjoy it. So anyway, so Australian MasterChef is back. So, for those of you that are in a watching slump from the Olympics and you're waiting for the Paralympics to start, which I think is another week, 10 days. I know there's always a delay because obviously they have to adapt some of the access and for the athletes. So, they have to do all sorts of different things. So I think that's why there's always a delay. So yeah, I'm so pleased, Chris. You were the first person on my list, and I thought if you weren't here today, I'd be emailing you. I've been looking for weeks to try and figure out when it was coming. Okay, Anita's here as well. Yeah. Awesome. So we've got lots of people also doing the record and then watch it without adverts. Whiz it through. So that's good. So just whilst we're talking about the telly, if you've got any must-watch series, things that you would never miss, then pop them in the comments, because it's always nice to get a recommendation of something else to watch. So that's good. And so Olympics. Did we love the Olympics? Oh, I love the Olympics. Did anyone see any of the speed climbing? And I don't know what it was called. It was canoe. It was like canoe. It's a knockout. Did anybody see that? That it was absolutely ridiculous. They could actually bash one another, and they had to go round these inflatable things, which is why it reminded me of It's a Knockout. It looked seriously dangerous. But we again, you see, I record it and then I whiz through it until I find something that's really interesting. And we were watching the climbing, and they're going up a wall like that. So it's kind of overhanging. It's at an angle, and they're climbing up it like Spider-Man in like 5 or 6 seconds. It was incredible, the speed. Yeah. And bouldering as well, which is where they kind of hang on with the tiniest tip of their fingers or the one toe. Absolutely incredible athletes. So yeah, it really inspires me to go and do something sporty, but but then I think I don't know what I could do, really. But a friend put on Facebook, you know how people put silly things on, and she said she'd seen somebody who said, wouldn't it be cool if there was like put yourself forward for the Olympics, and there was like a draw, and if you wanted to have a go, you could have a go, and there'd be like one person in each sport who was just an ordinary person trying to do whatever it was. I think that'd be really cool. So there you go. So let's see. Chris says she watched too much of the Olympics. Ali was saying the Olympics is fantastic. Kayak cross, Rob, thank you. Kayak cross. Yeah, that's honestly, if you've not seen that, if you can get BBC iPlayer and watch it, terrifying. Oh, and saying Alaska Daily. What channel's that on? I love Alaska. Great pottery throwdown. Again, that's one of my must-watches as well. I love that. Margaret was saying her son and partner went to the Olympics and said they had the best time. Yeah. I had quite a few friends who went. They've got littles, so one of them's got like a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and the other one's got teenagers, 13, 14. And they were camping and having the best time, going in and out to watch all the events and things. They had a great time. Let's have a look. Andriana said that her husband was talking about skateboarding the Olympics and reminiscing about his youth, but she reminded him that sitting on a skateboard going down a hill doesn't really count. Yeah, we saw some of the skateboarding too. Is it? I want to say motocross. No, not motocross. BMX. And they're leaping like ridiculous, 10 foot in the air and spinning the bike round, and terrifying, but very cool. So yeah, so there we go. So yeah, it's really interesting. So it's been it's I should have done more work and less Olympics. Oh yes, Blown Away, Chris. So Blown Away, I think that's still on Netflix. That's a glass blowing competition. So it's kind of like pottery throwdown, but for glass blowers. And yeah, that's really cool as well. Oh, okay. Thanks, Sam. Anne's going to figure out what the program is and let us know. That's the Alaska Daily one. Okay, so I am in the process of finishing all of the designs for my Christmas retreat. And I know I can see lots of names on here of people who are already booked. And I am truly grateful for your support, and we have the best time at my retreats. And if you've never heard of my retreats, or you're sort of new to me and the channel, I do a Christmas retreat. It's the end of October. It's online, and it's a Friday evening and a Saturday. And we have a live class Friday evening. And then there are 3 recorded classes on Saturday and 2 live Zooms for us to chat as well on Saturday. And there's 3 completely different classes. I use lots of different products. If you're here in the UK, I can send you a full retreat kit. If you are anywhere else in the world, you can join in. I can send you all of the PDFs and the products that you need to gather and so on. So wherever you are in the world, you can join in. Some of the products I have battened down because I was when I was opening the catalogue, I was looking for a specific type of stamp, and it was there. So I am very excited. But there are other projects that I don't know. I want to see which is your favorite. So you're going to get to vote in a minute when I show you these products. So I've got 3 sets of papers to show you and 2 ribbons. No stamps and dies and things yet. As I said, some of this stuff I am waiting for it to arrive. But yeah, do you want to see some sneak peeks? Let me know. And then I am going to do some crafting with Layers of Beauty. So make sure you stick around for that as well. So let's have a look. Ooh, switch that over. Da-da-da. Let's change the camera. Right. Okay. So because I haven't got my catalogue up here, I can't actually tell you what the names of these are. So you're just going to have to trust me. Just when we get to the voting bit, then you can. I'll tell you what you need to vote for. So, okay. So these papers are absolutely, definitely going to be in the Christmas retreat along with this ribbon. So this ribbon is cherry cobbler and gold. And basically this year, the metallic of Christmas is gold. The last few years it's been silver, But this year it is gold and it's really nice to see it. But look how cool this ribbon is. This is my test to make a ribbon. Make a bow in a ribbon and see how it ties. Look how beautiful it is. And better still, it's double-sided. So, you know, sometimes when you tie a bow and it looks odd because it's like inside out. Well, there you go. But this ribbon will definitely be included. It is cherry cobbler and gold. And does it say what size it is? It's 1/4 of an inch, so it's a skinny ribbon. So it's actually really useful because you can use it on cards and lots of different projects. This paper is definitely going to be included as well. Now, there are 6 designs, and you get 2 of each. So it's a specialty paper because it's got this gold foiling on it. But it's like a painted canvas with like gold leaf on it, and you can see the gold really reflecting. So there are, let me show you, there are 2 old olive sheets, but they are different. So when I first opened the pack, I thought they were the same, but they're not. So you've got 2 different old olive sheets and they're different. And then you can tell they're definitely different because of the backgrounds. And I'm not sure whether you can see this. Oh, Lorraine, thank you. Lorraine's got her catalogue there. That's awesome. So this one's sort of got texture. It looks like it's a canvas. And that one's stripes. And then there are 2 sheets of basic beige. And again, so you've got 2 different patterns. And that background and that stripy background. And then you've got 2 separate colours. So this one's cherry cobbler. Look at that. Look at that with that, you know, Stampin' Up. Absolutely nails colours, you know. And then you've got that size. And then this one is Pretty Peacock. And this looks like somebody's dripped paint down it. Love it. So this is definitely included. Like I said, you get, if you buy a full pack, you will get 12 sheets. So you'll actually get 2 of each of the ones that I have shown you. So that's definitely absolutely included. But this is where I haven't decided yet. So I might choose some of them. I might choose both of them. I might actually choose something else completely. But let's have a bit of fun and see. So, Lorraine, are you able to tell us what this is? Thank you. So we're gonna for now, this is a reindeer paper. So you have, and there's, with this, there are stamps and dies as well. So you've got reindeers in all kinds of garb. So they've got scarves, they've got like fascinators, they've got lights around them, even a saddle there. And you've got presents. Then you've got like a reindeer with a wreath around him. Now, there is actually a die that cuts out very similarly to this reindeer image, which is really cool. And you've got little holly leaves. You've got teeny reindeer and garlands of lights. You've got, I want to say mummy and baby reindeers. I think some of them are. But you've got reindeers decorating the Christmas tree and some more sort of plaid. You've got some more scenes and trees. This is called Reindeer Days. Thank you very much, Lorraine and Ali. And then you've got reindeer with snowmen and a little rabbit and some jingle bells. So that's Reindeer Days. And then we've got this one, which I think is called Snow Days. But my lovely friends will be able to tell me. So you've got holly berries and leaves and a stripe. And I love this because it's wonky stripes. Oh, let's get this the right way around. Then you've got like a little village and some candy canes. Then this is where it starts to come into its own. These are all snow globes. And you've got different snowy scenes. Thank you, Lorraine. So all got different snow globes. And then, of course, this is probably Amanda's favourite pattern because it's blue and it's snowflakes. Thank you, Ali. Then you've got big, humongous snow globes with pink snowflakes. You've then got snowmen. And like a plaid. And then look at the penguins. Now, we have done penguins at Christmas retreats before, but these are different penguins. And I adore these. And then you've got the little trees. So this is my question. So in the comments, or if you're watching this on replay, can you email me? Or put it in the comments, either or. So this is Reindeer Days. And this is Snowy Scenes. So this one's got the snow globes, and this is all the reindeers. So do let me know in the comments which ones you prefer. Just whilst I've got this one, I've got another ribbon to show you. I'm so excited. I love pom-poms. And it's pool party. Yeah, it's pool party. It's actually part of this suite. Put pom-poms on ribbon. And, you know, one of the things that I thought with this ribbon was, well, it's going to be really hard to do anything with it because, you know, the pom-poms are going to get in the way. Look at this. Oh, yes, Donna. Donna's saying both are cute. So, yes, your vote can be reindeers or snowy scenes or both or neither if you don't like either of them. Because, you know, we're all different, aren't we? We all like different things. But look. So you can just tie a normal bow and pull your ribbon through like normal because these pom-poms are soft. They are not lumpy and scratchy and horrible. They are soft. And look at that. It's so cool. And of course it just unwinds like that. Okay. So there we go. So let me know what you think. And I'm just going to roll up my ribbon and then I'm going to get on with crafting. Yeah, and if you aren't able to comment here on YouTube, I know I have lots of people that watch that because of you have to log in, and YouTube can be a real pest sometimes and doesn't let people log in properly. So you can always email me. I'll put my email address up. And you can email me about anything, really. But I'd love to know. Okay, so I am going to be using this stamp set. It's called Layers of Beauty. Now, it is in the annual catalogue, and it comes with, so it's a bundle. So you can buy the stamps on their own. It comes as a bundle with masks and with dies. Now I'm not using the dies today, but I am using the stamps and the masks as well. I'm using Best Family Ever because I use it all the time. But I just wanted to show you sort of a couple of ways of using this set. And now I love it because it's got a really big happy anniversary in it. And that's just such a nice anniversary sized sentiment. But I'm using happy birthday today because happy birthday cards are what I need the most of. So let me get everything out. Have a slurp of my water. Oh dear, I just knocked my mouse. Hang on, let me just move that off. My comments are all gone. Okay, so I've got ink pads, blending brushes, rhinestones, randomly a second chamois. I don't know why that's in there, but you know, I'll figure that out later. And a mountain of blend. So let's start. Oh, so the votes are coming in. That is good. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is this stamp is mahoosive. It is huge. So you need the F block. And if you have little hands like mine, they barely get around the block. I can't stamp this one-handed. I have to use two hands. To be honest, stamping two-handed is my preference anyway. And that's how I teach new stampers to stamp with two hands. If you've got a stamp positioning tool like our awesome Stamparatus, which is no more, as in we can't sell it anymore. If you've got one of those, big stamps like this are really good on that. But if not, I am going to show you a way that you can ink this up. But you also need to be aware that it doesn't quite fit on a standard layer. So this is, so if you are doing a standard layer, can you see, you can just look, it peeks out of the top and the bottom. So it works better on larger cards, or if like me, what you can do is not worry about it and just let it kind of hang off the edge a bit. So let me just grab some grid paper first. This is a photopolymer stamp. So you absolutely must use a stamping mat. If you haven't got one of these, will you please put one on your next order? It will make such a difference to your stamping. It really, really will, I promise. So I'm starting out with blends. So I'm using Memento Black. You can use standard ink pads with blends as well. The only ink that you can't use is a solvent-based ink, a like StazOn. So I am basically tapping all over. It feels like the camera, is the camera moving? I hope not. So tapping all over, and what I'm actually going to do is pop this down two-handed and stand above it and give it a good old press. Okay. And then just peel it off. And then we've got our beautiful image. Now, what you can do instead is get your grid paper like this, ink up your stamp, take your paper, put it down, bring your grid paper over the top, and then press it down and rub over the top. And that will really help get the impression if you can't hold the stamp. So whilst I've just got this out, I'm actually going to stamp it again, ready for my next card. So let me just, I can show you that way, can't I? Ta-da-da. So you do that, you position this where you want it. Obviously be careful not to move it. Get your grid paper and just rub gently. You're not mashing it, you're not really working on it, but just give it a rub over the whole thing and then lift it off. And there you go, there's your image. Okay. Right, so I'll just put that to one side. And, actually, get my mat back. I'm just going to stamp my happy birthdays because then I can put my ink pad away. And that is always a plan. So, there's a happy birthday. Where did the other one go? There's a happy birthday. Okay. Hurrah. I'm all for getting things out of the way. Right. So let's start with this one. So I have got, just double check this. Yeah. So I've got a peach pie card. Now, this is a landscape folding card. Basically, because whenever I want a landscape card, I always have it so it's scored on the side, so on the short fold. Because if you have it's scored this way, it opens out, so it goes like on there and it just kind of splats, whereas this way it holds it much better. So that's peach pie. I've got a black layer and I've got a layer for the inside. And I've got some rhinestones here. And I'm going to make the rhinestones match the card. So I'm just going over the rhinestones with the dark blend. And I'll probably go over them a couple of times. But it just means that it just gives them a tone on tone kind of effect. So because the main part of the card is peach pie. I'm going to do my big flowers in peach and my smaller flowers in pretty in pink. Now, when I'm colouring with blends, I always start by putting down a layer of colour. Now, I find for a big image like this, it's easiest to put down a whole layer of your pale colour first. And you'll see in a moment, for the other images, I'll put the dark down first. So it's kind of like, Amanda, what are you doing? Why are you doing it one way with one thing and one way with another thing? So how I'd like to try and explain it is, I always like to get my darker shaded areas in first. And I blend with the lighter colour. So basically, I blend out the dark. But when I've got an image like this, that is big, I want to make sure I've got a base covering of the pale colour first before I go in with the shading. Okay, so I've just gone over the whole thing with the light peach pie. And now I'm going to go in and put in some darker bits. And for me, it's kind of the edges, anywhere where there might be shadow. And you can kind of let your arty self just kind of have fun, really. But you'll see once I put these darker bits in, it's like, well, you know, they're not blended, Amanda. That's not, you know, good colouring in. You're right. Can you see? So then I go back with my light colour and blend those lines. Now I'm using the bullet tip. So where I've been putting down big areas of colour, I use the brush tip. Now I'm blending, I'm using the bullet tip. And I always go in one direction. So I don't go backwards and forwards. I go one way in order just to blend that area. So where I've got a harsh line, I'm just going over that area to soften it in. I'm not trying to blend it out completely because I still want some of that colour there, but I'm just pulling it through. There we go. So there we go. We've got shading, but not harsh lines. And the thing is, you can go over it again. And I will do in a minute, but I'm just going to kind of speedily go through things. So again, I'm just going to do what I said originally, which is put the dark colours down first. So this is Old Olive. And I am basically putting Old Olive on all of the stem lines or the veins of the flowers. and a little bit where I think there might be shading. Okay. So don't be afraid of it kind of looking like that. And then I'm going to go in with my brush tip. But look, this has been loved. So I do talk about this often. I teach in-person classes, and my customers use all of my products. So it means sometimes some people are slightly heavier handed with the blends than I am. So yeah, I'm going to have to use the bullet tip. And the brush tips aren't designed really to do this kind of blending. If you press on them too hard, and by too hard, I'm not saying that somebody's, you know, standing on the pen. It's just if you press hard, it just softens the tip. So it's best if you're doing this kind of colouring is to use the bullet tip. But it takes longer. So now let's just go through this, and then I'll see what comments have come in. There's not that much to do now, and it's really interesting because some people will tell you, oh no, you can't let the blends dry, and you've got to do all sorts of things in a certain order. Well, just find the way that works for you. If the way I'm doing my colouring doesn't work for you, that's fine. Do it a different way. Do it your way. That's what being creative is all about. It's being creative and doing the things that work best for you. So I'm now just going over with my Pretty in Pink. This is the dark Pretty in Pink. And I'm just going on to the smaller flowers. And I'm just putting a little bit of colour down. I'm going to go into the centres and just do that before I go back in. And then I'm going to go in with the light. So let me bring this up so you can see. I'm going to go in with the light colour. I'm kind of fill in the gaps, but also blend that dark in. And don't be afraid of white space. Or actually not colouring completely to the edges. It really is okay to not always go right to the edge. Okay, so I'm going to put on my little gems, which is really cool because you can colour. That's why rhinestones are so awesome, because you know you can always colour coordinate them to your project. A good reminder here, look at the back of the card. When you're using blends, please make sure you are resting on a surface that isn't precious to you. please do not do your blending on your favorite oak dining room table, because it comes through. This is my crafting workbench, so this is fine for me just to have grid paper on it. But if I was doing it on some kind of important desk, use a glass mat underneath or some kind of protection. There you go. So there's the color. And I'll show you again at the end, because blends, they always do kind of soften out as well over time. They just need to finish off. So that's the card using blends. And obviously you can color that in with your watercolor pencils, with your markers, with a blending pen, whatever it is that you want to do. But there is a quicker way of doing it, which is using the masks. Now, the masks, there are 5 masks in this set, and they have a little notch and a number. And I don't know. Can you? Ooh. Like, I'm hoping you can see that number 2. So they have a number, so that you want to be able to read the number to make sure that your stencil is the right way up, because that's the first issue. Okay, your stencil being the wrong way up is, or can be, a bit of a problem. The second thing is to know that the stencils expect, let me look at this way, expect the stamp to, your image to be this way up. So if you look at the floral image, it expects to have this rose here at the bottom. So when I get number 1 stencil, which is the floral images, you will see exactly what I mean, because you'll take this and you'll kind of wiggle it about and go, how is that going to work? Well, if you think this has got to be at the bottom, you can then figure out that that is how your paper is supposed to go. So your stencils will obviously only work with the stamped image in one way. But if you always go, well, that single rose goes to the bottom right, it'll be much easier for you to figure it out. Okay, so I use, and I thought it was here, and obviously it isn't. Okay, I use masking tape usually to pin this down, but it's not there. So please use masking tape to pin this piece of card down. Obviously I'm using tape that isn't masking tape, but I'll deal with that in a minute. Because you don't want this bit to move. Yeah, you're going to be moving the masks, but you don't want this bit to move. Let me just bring that down there like that so you can see that one as well. Actually, no, I'll put it up there out the way. Let's not damage that card. Let's put those there. Okay, so I get asked a lot about the brushes. So these are the blending brushes. These are the standard ones, and these are the little ones. I think they're the same price. I use both interchangeably. So I think it probably more depends on whether you're covering larger areas or smaller areas. The handle size is the same pretty much. Look, yeah, it is the same. So it's just the head that's different. Okay, so I'm using the matching set to this, which is Pretty in Pink with the black. I'm going to just grab my blend and just colour those in Pretty in Pink. Now, the Pretty in Pink is really, even the light Pretty in Pink is quite pale when it goes on these these rhinestones. So I'm going to have to go over it a couple of times. So I'll come back to that again in a minute. So the colours that I've got are Old Olive, Pretty in Pink, and Petunia Pop. So I've pinned this down. I've looked for mask number 1, and then I'm going to bring this up to show you. What you want to do is when you're lining this up, you want it to line up perfectly on all the areas. So for instance, that one's pretty much lined up on these 2 pieces, but you can see up here it's really not right. And as you sort of tilt it and move it, all of a sudden you'll go, wow, and it's perfect. And you know it's absolutely exactly where it needs to be. So what I do then, to give me a potential of lining up the next one, is on my grid paper, I've just made a little black mark for the V of the stencil. So I kind of know where the next one's going to go. So I'm going to ink up my blending brush, pin the stencil down, make sure it's right where it should be, and then really lightly go over the holes. Okay, and you want it to be light because you're going to go over this 3 times with color. So you want to make sure it's covered, but it doesn't need to be dark. So I'm going to take that one off, and look, that's your first layer of color, which is really good. So then you want stencil number 2. Now, if you line up that V with that V there, you should be fairly close. But just wiggle it around until you can see some of the stamped image, and you're going, yeah, okay, that looks right. So I'm using the same color, Pretty in Pink again. So we're basically building color. So that's my second layer. Oh, I've missed a little bit there where my finger was. Lift it up. How cool is that? Can you just I just love stencils because it makes it so easy. Right, so next one is number 3. So make sure the number 3 is facing you, and you've got the V shape. But now, so this one, number 3, is for the center of the flowers. So the little flowers, this is my top tip for this one. For stencil number 3, line it up on the flower centers, because it's more tricky to figure out where it is on the bigger flowers. This time, I'm going to use... Actually, do you know what? I was going to use Petunia Pop, which I'll show you the one that I have done, but I'm not. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to go with Pretty in Pink again, because I want to see what it looks like. and I'll show you in a second the Petunia Pop version. Oh, I like that better. That's so cool. And actually, this will also help you when you're colouring in to see the sort of shading that you can do. It's so good. Right, number 4. That's 5. Number 4. So number 4 is the green. So the first layer is all of the leaves, and again, I'm using a light touch with the old olive. So I'm not pressing hard at all, just gently make sure it's all covered. Okay, that looks really cool. Let me just do another coat on these rhinestones. And then last but not least, number 5. This is the detail on the leaves again. And there you have it. Look at that. How cool is that? And it's so fast. So I'm just going to get these rhinestones on. And then I'm just going to show you. So you might like this one better. You might not. But this one, I used the Petunia Pop as the darker colour, and whereas this one, it's all tonal, it's all pretty in pink. So let's just get that off there, get it stuck down, she says. You know, if you were mass producing some invitations or some thank you cards or that kind of thing, how quick would it be to use those stencils? You could get a huge stack of cards done really quickly. There you go. So that's the stencil, and that's colouring in. So the end result of the two is really, really very similar. But this one took me 20, 25 minutes maybe, and that one probably 10. So do we have a preference? Sometimes it's more tricky because obviously I've used different colours, and you know that may sway your opinion. If I'd have thought about it, because I knew I was going to do the stenciling, I should have done these in peach as well, and then it would have all been peach. But there you go. So let me know what you think. Remember to do, if you've joined us a little bit late, or you're watching the replay, do let me know in the comments or send me an email. Let me know whether you prefer reindeers or penguins. That would be really cool. And I will speak to you very soon. What date is it? It is the 13th. So craft and chat next week at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and then the following week is my mystery class, and information for that will be coming out in the next couple of days. I've just got to finalize a couple of things, and then I will send the information out to you. Thank you so much for your lovely comments and for hanging out with me today. I will see you all again very soon. Take care. Goodbye.